Good afternoon. It's July 12th, 2023, and today, um, on this chart, it looks like a range day. The news item early on formed what I believe to be a spike in channel. We'll take a look at it like that. I'll just look at it like this. There's probably some trades in here that I didn't see. I'll have to go through this. But here's a look at how it's looking on the daily chart. I did draw this potential spike in channel, but we haven't had confirmation of that yet. I'm gonna think it's valid if this bar closes within the range, but it's looking pretty bullish right now. So let's take a look. So right before the news item, you have this second entry long here. Let's see, is this at 8 a.m.? No. Okay, so right before the news item, you have a second entry long right here. It's tempting. You could definitely argue for this to be off the trend line, but it's right before the news item, so it's just not a good idea because they could just stop you out. But it does end up working. I think I drew price level at this like 42.90 because that would make a new high, or 97 was it? Actually, I remember it was just at these where this bar closed, or this bar. Yeah, where these bars closed. So 44.92, and we blew. You could see some people probably took profits there, but then we just blew right through it, formed this range. Um, there's no entry in here. I was looking at this as a range. Now I think this turns out to be a spike in channel. We go higher, we go sideways. You get a bounce off the trend channel, but you don't know what's going on still, so you can't take that. Maybe you take this reversal, but I don't think you want to do that. It's a first entry, failed second entry short. It's just not very convincing because we don't have a low from this channel, and this to me, I'd probably just be playing this range right here. And at that point, you're going into highs. So I'll leave that marked just because we had a bullish bias. Come up here, and we just go sideways, but it does look like you get a few bounces off that trend channel. So maybe you take this one on the double test. I like that. I mean, it's a low risk 4 tick signal bar. It's near the lows of this range, so that looks pretty good. But you can see as soon as it hit those highs, it sells off. So I think that's pretty good. It's a double test of that price level. But then we go a little lower and we bounce, come up here, come back to the trend channel, bounce. Um, and this we bounce again, but it's just starting to roll over and it feels like you're going to break soon, and that's what happens. So um, probably a lot of people got fooled right here because that kind of looks like a failed second entry short. Uh, but um, I really think this just looks like it's about to fail. We're coming up short of the highs, then we're coming up short of the midline, and you just got to take that stuff into account. In my opinion, I think these are my most difficult days when we have these huge rallies. I think because it just goes to my head. Um, I think everything should work out in your favor, and that's just not the reality of it. So just remember you still want to be extremely picky on these days. Looks like we have a move down here. But no setups in there. You do get a first entry, second entry right here. But with the bias being up, I don't know if you take that. I don't know. That lower high maybe. Not sure, but you get a nice, steep, strong sell-off. So let's see. We have a new in place, low in place, so maybe it's like right here that it starts. All right. I don't know what just happened, but I think it probably starts right here. Let's see. Let's put it right there. So you do get a break, and this is like a hidden second entry, but it doesn't set up well. Um, the second entry actually occurs right here, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable. It doesn't seem clear what's happening with prices. And to me, this is starting to look like a range, so I'm not going to take anything in here. This is a second entry long off the lows, but that's just the first test of that price level. You come down here, you test it one more time, and it bounces, but I'm just not so sure about that. Maybe you take that one, but it's not a new low, so you can't take that. You got a higher low right here, but the bias is down. You can see we're still making lower highs and lower lows, but it does reverse, and nothing in here. This isn't confirmation, so we don't get confirmation to up here till up here, and really you get a break. So this channel isn't really, it's not really valid. I mean, it looked good, but I would say it's more, you just got to play the short-term trends. So, this break move to a new high, two legs of correction, then you get this break, move to a new high, and I don't see anything. First entry, second entry. I like this one. First entry, second entry. I like that. I mean, prices, lots of room back to the midline and the EMA. We've gotten some touches off this midline, so that makes me feel like the range is valid. That might be the only high probability one in my opinion today. See, there's nothing in here. Second entry right here, but it's below the EMA and it's kind of a doji. Come up here, you get a quick double test. Maybe you take that one. And so this one was a second entry long, and I think it was off my trend channel. So yeah, it perfectly touched off the trend channel. So how could you know that this isn't going to work? Well, we did get an overshoot right there. It's slight, but we got an overshoot. Second of all, this to me, this looked like a 50% correction, so I drew the range, and indeed it happened right there at the midline. So that tells you something, tells you that we're probably ranging, and we didn't come down to these lows yet. So you don't want to go long yet. Then, what else? Then you have a doji right here, and this is a doji. So it's not the greatest signal bar. So there's a few things telling you not to go long there. And then we just go sideways. And now we're selling off. And so that's how it's looking. And that's what I saw today. So not a whole lot. Again, I mean, I would imagine a lot of people feel the same way as me. I've now been watching these charts for 3 years, and these are the most difficult days for me. I think I just get so excited with how much prices are moving that I forget you still need good setups. So just a good reminder to stay patient, um, and only take great entries. So I hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.